Hey everyone, my name is Mike Rennick. I'm the team lead, the senior broker of Team Rennick, part of that great Mangrove Realty Associates family. Welcome to another edition of Out and About Florida's West Coast with Mike. This is all part of my promise to share Florida's West Coast lifestyle from the folks that live here, play here, and work here. We're going to do a little bit of change. You've seen some videos that we're doing with Steve Reed. He's the owner and publisher of the Longboat Key News. It talks about the happenings. Now we're going to add a segment, a weekly segment, that will be done talking more from a real estate perspective. And my guest on these will be Mr. Michael Hankin. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Welcome. So Michael is a board certified local attorney and just an all around good guy. And he's agreed to partner with me on these videos as we go forward. Now we're sitting inside today. Down the road we'll go back out into the field again and talk about different aspects. But what we've agreed to talk about today, what we want to do is bring you up to date with some things happening in Longboat Key. And what is the hottest thing out there right now, Mike?
Well, the hottest new development out on Longboat is the St. Regis condominium and hotel. It's a huge development, 17.6 acres with 800 feet of golf front, and just the largest scale development here on the Longboat Key region in quite some time. The colony has got some special, I call it the colony.
That's what used to be there,
That's
correct?
what used to be there. It was the kind of a grouping of cottages and bungalows that had been developed in the late 60s and early 70s. And had a lot of history for me. I went to a couple of proms there growing up, and it used to kind of be the place to go for kids to do things that maybe they shouldn't be doing in high school.
Do you want to go deeper, or are we going to leave it at that?
I'm not going to tell you the details, but it was really a great piece of property that's going to be turned into an even greater piece of property. Mike, tell us about some of the new development that's planned out there.
What's interesting in terms of St. Regis, and let me go back for 1 second, with the colony, many folks don't realize this, but the night before 9/11, President Bush stayed at the colony. He was on Longboat Key. He woke up that morning on September 11th at the colony. In fact, the infamous video with the children at the elementary school where President Bush is reading to them was shot at Sarasota Booker Elementary. So from a presidential aspect, 9/11 started right here in Sarasota and Longboat Key. But in the St. Regis, there's actually two things there. There's going to be a commercial part, an aspect where we can all enjoy, but there's also going to be a part that they call the residences. And as Mike said, it's approximately about 18 acres. They expect to break ground this summer of 2021. And the ownership of the first residence they expect will occur in December of 23.
Hi, it's your phone speaking.
And little technical glitch there. One of the things I forgot to do is shut off the ringer, so I apologize for that. We'll continue to go. These videos are shot raw, uncut, and from the heart, so we can connect with you guys. But the resort aspect, that's going to be the commercial part. There'll be boutiques, fine and casual dining, a spa, salon, fitness center, dog walking path, things like that, multiple pools, cabana service. So it's definitely going to be an upscale property. The residents, though, the folks that will buy condominiums there, comprised of 3 6-story residential buildings. There'll be a guard-gated community. There'll be 69 private luxury condominiums that will be available on the market. Prices range between $2 and $8 million, and they're pre-selling right now, by the way. Unit size, they run from a little bit over 1,500 square feet up to a little over 5,000. The smallest is a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath. The largest will be a 4-bedroom, 5.5 bath with 3 different buildings. So there's lots of good stuff going on. In addition to all the resort amenities, they will have their own private spa, pool, sun deck, clubhouse, wellness center, and so on. So I'm really excited that this is coming to Longboat.
It's going to be great, and from a real estate perspective, it's a very interesting and somewhat more common mixed-use project where you have the private residential condominiums, 69 of them, as Mike has said, that are available for private sale, mixed in on the same property with the resort. And there's separate common areas for each of those. So some are common that both
They
the
share.
resort owners and the whole or resort visitors and unit owners can use,
Mhm.
and others are specific to just the unit owners.
Let's talk about the market for a second. Is this a good thing to build at this time? What's the market looking at Longboat Key? You know, I report every monthly on the overall Sarasota Manatee market, but let's go a little bit deeper. When we look at Longboat Key, and I like to look at year over year, we're in a seasonal market, so when you look at month over month data, it's skewed, it doesn't tell the story. But when we look at sales for the overall market, excuse me, it's up 38% with the latest data that's been released over a year ago. When we look at the luxury market, properties over $1 million, it's up 60% from last year. Now, inventory levels, how much is there available to buy today? That is down 62% overall, and it's down 63% in the luxury market, again, over $1 million units. The price change in the overall Longboat Key market is negligible year over year. It's down 21% in the luxury market, but that's not really telling the whole story because the sample size is small. There were 16 sales in the month of January. So that could greatly, the mix of that can greatly impact price. The days on the market, when you list something, how fast does it sell? Down 32% overall in Longboat Key, down 21% in the luxury market. So when you look at that data, it's very clear the market is strong. Properties are selling. The forecast as we move forward through the balance of 2021 and 2022, the experts are all saying that the market will continue to grow, prices will continue to rise, and inventory levels will remain at historic lows. So are the experts going to be right? Only time would tell. But when you look at the data right now, it's a super seller's market in Longboat Key. The development of the St. Regis, in my personal opinion, as a licensed real estate broker, that's very healthy for the island in terms of the halo effect of bringing the full level of pricing and amenities out there on the island up. So lots of good stuff as we go forward. I'm excited.
Absolutely, it's a really cool new development.
So next week we'll be back with something different from a real estate perspective here in the west coast of Florida. I want to thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, my personal cell is 941-400-8735. Feel free to reach out.